Mr. Kutalu thinks that being on the ground is better anatomically and physiologically. Let's see why that is not correct. Let's understand why being on the ground in a fight situation is not the ideal for self-defense or for combatives in survival situations and battlefield type combat. Remember, martial arts were originally designed for battlefield combat. They were not designed for the sporting environment. That's a modern innovation. So anyhow, when you're on the ground in a battlefield combat situation, you have to worry about everyone else. Your awareness gets reduced because you're focusing on the guy on the ground rather than everything else going around you. Also, you can end up being ran through by a weapon being on the ground. One of our jiu-jitsu techniques that we teach in my school involves two people that are working together against a single opponent. So you have opponent A here, and then your friend engaged with him, and then you sneak up behind him, take him out, basically grab the back of his collar, drop to your knee, and trip him over your knee, take him to the ground, pin him to the ground, pinning his sword to the ground, and then your buddy that was facing him comes up and runs him through. So things like this make it very dangerous to go to the ground because you could get ran through by your opponent's buddy's weapon. So just not a good place to go. And then from a self-defense situation, the ground is not always the friendliest place to be. You could have, nails, broken glass, rocks. You could end up getting your head smashed into the curb. Getting taken to the ground could sit there and cause basically like road rash. There's just many, many, many reasons that in battlefield combatives and self-defense combatives, you don't want to go to the ground. It's just not the place you want to be. Now, I guess in self-defense or if you're on like grass or something like that, the ground is safe. It's probably okay then if it's one-on-one. You don't need to worry about anyone else. But in group self-defense or battlefield combatives, even on soft grass with nothing hazardous on the ground, you wouldn't want to go to the ground. Very dangerous place to be. One of the objectives of the classical martial arts and the ancient martial arts was to get back to your feet as quickly as possible. Even if you slipped on muddy ground, you wouldn't want to lay there and, ask your enemy to get into your guard. You would want to stand up and get back to your feet because it's just plain dangerous. So anyhow, for the sporting environment, perfectly fine. It's an entirely different realm of fighting than self-defense and battlefield combatives. So I hope that makes sense as to why it's not anatomically better to be on the ground than it is to be standing. It's also not physiologically better to be on the ground versus standing. You want to stand because being on the ground in self-defense or battlefield combatives will probably result in your death. So just avoid it, please.